Welcome back, everybody. I do apologize for a few day hiatus here. I was under the weather and I'm a little bit late on this one by a couple of days, and I sincerely apologize for it. But I want to go ahead and go over the Valentine's Day event as late as it may be. I know we're almost halfway through it, and I'll get this posted as soon as I can, hopefully right after this, so we can enjoy it while it's still up for a little bit of time. But they did come out with kind of a three-tier structure event for this one. Nothing overwhelming as far as like an investment standpoint, in my opinion. But it's pretty cool that they kind of took the time to go and make it a little more interactive. Meaning we've seen this before, but you actually have daily quests that go into the first part of the actual event here for you. It technically is under hot events, but it will show Valentine's on your actual screen. And they call it the Rose Quest. There's 10 quests a day where you can acquire these other resources to go ahead and craft these different bouquets of flowers, which then coincide with different prizes, right? Totally free, nothing that you have to go ahead and participate for, or I should say invest for. So definitely something cool, a little more additive, a little more something to do for your daily routine. So if you're not doing that, I highly suggest you do. And as well as in the actual King's Continent, now they call it the Vanquisher Continent for some reason, but it's none the same as the original map. You will see that they say throughout the day they refresh, but you will find feather collections, and if you actually change your channel to one that most people don't normally operate on, as I just changed mine, you'll see them everywhere. Okay, so if yours are all gone from channel 1, you don't have to wait for it to refresh. Chances are if you go to a different channel, you'll be able to go ahead and grab these, and it's just free currency for the event that we'll get in here later on to. So you can collect 10 of these a day, and each one gives you a different varied amount. So it's a nice little way to gather more of the currency without having to invest any actual money. Now the second part of the event is your login based event. They call this one here, I mean, none the same, the Valentine's Day event, but this is what we're used to seeing, right? You have your activity where you do your normal things. You get, prizes for logging in, world boss, arena, etc., etc. Your consumables, as usual, have nothing here to do with the actual event, but at the same time, not anything really crazy to spend money towards. I mean, yeah, I have one of these, but at the same time, actually, no, I don't. It's a level 10 health gem. Wow. But $300 worth of diamonds, yeah, not really worth it, right? So the top up portion is very similar to the event we just saw, where the two kind of tiers structured for it. Either you're going to spend $5 or $20 to increase your diamonds, which has nothing towards the event itself, but it just allows you to stockpile diamonds. And then on the bottom tier, much like they do, sometimes the other events have, if you do 50 twice in a day, you get a lot more rewards, but you get 50 scrolls and then you get 2,000 feathers. Not a huge thing here. The scrolls are probably the better of the two, and I'll show you what those actually are here in a second. And each day, if you spend $3, you get an extra 500 feathers and 5 scrolls. As far as the collection, that's what I kind of just showed you originally, and if you go to the screen, it'll tell you how many are left on each channel, if you were just wondering, just to make sure. But honestly, from my experience, if you click on any channel other than 1 and possibly 2, that there's plenty to go ahead and choose from. Okay, first top up, you can net yourself 5 essences of one of these 2 mounts here for you, along with 500 feathers and 5 more scrolls there for you. And your total top up here is where you're going to get mainly your investments worth. Now this tier structure is not really lucrative, in my opinion, for this event. So if you look, 5, 10, 20, you only get scrolls and 5 apiece, all the way up to $30. You're only going to get scrolls. And I'll show you the scroll prizes, and they're not that great, so it's not something that I would really invest money in unless you want the privilege card, and then we'll look at that in a second. But $50 just to get 500 feathers, I mean, you collect that just for free every day from the King's Continent. So it's like, why would I spend $50 on that, right? Even 100 for 1,000. It's just crazy. Their proportions are way off on this one, ladies and gentlemen. So don't waste your money unless you're trying to acquire more diamonds through the double the diamonds. and or you really want to get the privilege card, and I'll show you that here in a second. So this is the actual Valentine's Day party event screen, which is the last one on your home screen, and it's kind of cool. The commencement letter literally says it's from the date it started, but it gives you like a little note, right? Dear hero, you arrived at Vanquisher's Continent on whatever, September 28th, 2018, and began your legendary journey. We have spent 141 days together and have seen much. Thank you for the glory and hope you have brought to our land, right? It's just gives you a little login gift, some rubies, and a new title here for you, or excuse me, a new costume card there for you. So a nice little handout, right? The privilege card, it's just like your nobilities that we've had before. You spend so many diamonds and allows you to acquire different things over the course of the event. Now this is a little different. It's $25, so not anything tremendously over you know, the 20 that they normally are. And as you can see here, you gather another title. You gather 10 pieces here for some, was that sprites, I believe? Yep. And then a Vanquisher weapon box. So not worth the 25 by itself. But if you wanted to, the reason why it may be lucrative to you, excuse me, if you go down to your party quest here for you, this is additional where you're going to get your feathers from. Okay, so the currency for the actual shop. Now, if you see the ones with crowns here for it, you can't actually acquire those unless you have that privilege card. So even if you complete the quest, it'll show claim, but it won't let you unless you have that privilege card. Now, this goes on for the course of the event for the 7 days, as you can see. And what I find is cool is, like, say day 2, one of them was, oh, where is it? Complete Spirit Realm one time, right? Well, unfortunately, my Spirit Realm has been done for quite some time, so I don't have the opportunity for that. But after the day's over, anyone that you didn't complete from the day before, you can go ahead and wrap up for 50 rubies if you want to go ahead and take advantage of the profits here from experience and the feathers, okay? But that's the really only reason to get the privilege card. So I did it. I still don't know why, but you know, we'll just leave it at that. And then this down here is pretty cool. The Elysian Purification. It's kind of like the original Dragon Slayer was. And if you're a younger server, you may still have the daily Dragon Slayer on there. But it's an Elysian instead of the Dragon. And it's all cross servers. So it's everybody. Now they do split it up so you're not overloaded and lag out. But it's with everybody in your cross server collective, and there's stack ranked there, excuse me, for some of these prizes here. And unless you're one of the main top players, and by no means am I, you're not going to gather one of these top 3. But it's just a nice way to potentially get some more prizes, and it does happen at 8:45 every day, so it's kind of in between your normal nightly events. So it adds just a little bit extra flair to your evening. And if you look at the output rankings, you know, some of them are crazy. I think Cheruby's got 142 million BR. So some of these guys are pretty strong, right? Yeah, I got 10th, right? So I did 7G with 76 million BR, and this guy did 49 in the same time. So it's astronomically strong. But I digress. Nice little cool aspect. The Elysian arrives. So this ends 2/17. So unfortunately it ends tomorrow, or tomorrow is its last day. I believe tomorrow is its last day because the other one says starts or unlocks on the 18th. This is where those scrolls come into play. Much like a firework event, you have the opportunity once you set one off to gather one of these prizes. They are stored in your temporary inventory until you go ahead and collect them. If you read above though, there is this Elysian right here, the Valentine Elysian, right, Anastasia, that you can unlock if you're lucky before spending 500 scrolls. Now 500 scrolls is $500 worth of diamonds if you don't have the scrolls. Even if you topped up, the math is not there, right? I mean, the investment is not really worth it. So, you know, if you have some extra diamonds, I thought myself, as you can see, I have quite a few to spend some, but I don't have the heart to, because I know I will drop $100 worth of diamonds and probably not get them and still only be at 175 of 500 attempts here. So, you know, I don't know how high this has to get for that really percentage to start kicking in where you can actually acquire the Elysian, but still a cool concept none the same. I'm just kind of rolling with the scrolls I get from the daily prizes and see what happens, right? And then the other one, the Divine Wing set, is going to be the same thing, but it's going to have the main prize be some set of wings we haven't seen before. I don't know if it's going to be, my guess is some kind of augmented set, not like a 6th or 7th wing set, but something different that can only be acquired through this event. And much like the holiday ones, I don't know if we'll see these again. So if you're out there trying to collect everything and you're one that likes to invest a lot, maybe these events are for you. And maybe it is worth the investment to go ahead and dump the diamonds or the money in there as scrolls to attempt to go ahead and grab these. But just a nice twist on not the everyday event, right? So far we get the same basic structure over and over and over and over again, just different overlapping patterns. But this one is a little bit different. In a nutshell, not worth dropping money into unless you want to either, like I mentioned, double diamonds here or there for the $5 or $20 investment, and or go ahead and get that privilege card to be able to take advantage of the feathers. So let's look at the actual feather shop here. Some things are moderately priced. Now, what I was not very excited about is if you look at the essence boxes, and they're 1,000 feathers, which is a little overpriced in my opinion. But even at that, it's nine-tailed Raphael and Bhaskar. Not really newer ones and not really high-powered ones. So, I mean, besides Bhaskar, I do like him even though I use Khan. And the Elysian Soul, it kind of goes the same pattern, right? Lunaris, Trinity, Abrax, and Helen. So if you don't have Helen or Abrax, then for sure this is a good one to get. But the Mount, Temple, Griffin, Immortal Phoenix, nothing crazy. And then you get into fragment pieces, right? One cool one I will say here is you can either get a 2-star, 3-star Epic Tyrant Soul equipment. So if you're having trouble, which I am because I can't seem to find anything craftable and or legendary outside of these chests, that it might be worth spending the ones you get here to try to upgrade your gear for some of your rare Tyrant Souls if you have them. Relic fragments are always a good snag if you're still working towards them. They did add the basic Spike Crystallite and basic Heart of Sprite. Unfortunately, these are only good for the first couple levels, and then you're going to need the advanced ones, which take higher level Sprite fragments to go ahead and disassemble to get. So not something I would acquire here. Refinement stones at 200, that's a really nice one. So if you want to upgrade a lot of your gems, this is the time to grab a bunch of these. I would say this is the go-to along with your basic relic stones. If you don't have your or enough to have your relics upgraded to 1 star at least, go ahead and snag what you need here, along with the advanced relic stones if you're at that point. And then the last thing I would really take a look at is the elemental dust and then your stone fragments for your enchanting, right? So 1,000 of them will get you enough pieces to craft 1, which is pretty cool in my opinion. That's not an overall hard consumption. I mean, I probably already spent I don't know, somewhere around 10,000 excuse me, in the 2 days. So this number is not what I acquired in 2 days. I've already bought 7 or 8 of these basic relics to upgrade my last 2 relics to level 1 stars. So with that being said, the rest is pretty cut and dry the same. You have some wings that are overpriced as usual. Fragments, I should say, overpriced as usual. Some costumes that are overpriced as usual and been out forever. But the big things here, snag some elemental dust. Now you can get this from dismantling level 10 equipment as well. But at this, they're smelting. But at the same time, for 100, not a bad idea to pick 10 or 20 of these up. Grab some of these if you don't have a lot or one you're looking for, instead of grinding out every day in the Sacred Realm, and pick up what you want here at your own convenience. But that's just kind of where I'm at in my gameplay. The rest is really astronomically high. If you really want some divine or mythic stones, they're there for you. And as always, the feathers are unobtainable. 20,000, 30,000 for level 6. I'm assuming Vanquisher equipment, not worth it in my in my opinion. But I've stated that many times, so yours may be different. However, I digress. So I appreciate everybody for watching. I just want to give you a rundown of the Valentine's Day event here for us. As always, I appreciate everybody's support. If you want to support the channel, go ahead and click that like button and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next episode.